What does SLIK, the Service Learning in Kenya program, have to do with self-perception? On the surface, it is easy to see that the students are learning a lot about life in rural Kenya, experiencing the welcoming atmosphere in the homes of Kenyans, teaching to classes of up to 30 students, exploring the market of Narumoro, and witnessing the amazing wildlife of East Africa. But what else are these students experiencing? Something more internal and personal. Possibly, it is a shift in self-perception. Since 2005, SLIK groups have been going to Kenya for a 3-week volunteer teaching program. For many students, it is an eye-opening experience to a culture and lifestyle very different from their own. The SLIK students work with about 10 different schools, and 2 Americans are assigned to a school, where they teach a variety of subjects. Being the only Americans in a school of 300 Kenyan students and teachers can stretch the students' comfort zones. It forces them to confront the reality they know at home with their current reality. This leads to questions of equality, resource use, opportunity, materialism, and what it means to be happy. This new reality may also lead to internal thoughts regarding a student's perspective on his or her own life. And that is what this short video is all about. Each day, one student is responsible for writing the daily dispatch from Kenya. This daily account of the student's experience is sent to family and friends so they can follow our adventures. In a review of more than 70 dispatches, the following quotes have been selected as those capturing the students' closely held feelings of their time in Kenya. These short snapshots give us a small window to better understand what the students were experiencing. For each student, however, these moments likely carried much deeper meaning that led to greater insight of themselves and their relationship with others. Varun Vij, 2008. Today was an eye-opener for me. This is definitely not what most visitors to Kenya experience, and I love it. Kenyan children have very few possessions, but make do with what they have. Most often, a soccer ball is a bundle of plastic bags bound tightly with string. I saw a group of girls playing jump rope with a worn piece of twine, and boys playing hopscotch with squares etched in the hard dirt. They didn't need anything fancy to have fun, and maybe I don't either. From Jeff Kroska, 2008. Today we played soccer with a group of young Kenyans. I played a lot of soccer in my life, including 2 state championships, but I have never enjoyed a game more than the one I played today. From the beautiful landscape to the happy children, it was a perfect game. Each time we scored a goal, we would celebrate, a quick round of high fives. My heart sank when the match was over, but I was consoled by the thought that there would be many more games like this to come. From Kari Kuhn, 2008. After dinner, a woman named Mama Waweru came to talk with us about the Mau Mau movement, a time in the 1950s that greatly influenced Kenya's quest for independence. So here before us was a 74-year-old woman telling us stories in Kikuyu about Mau Mau, who was actually there, a primary source. There are so few people still with us today who were there in those situations, who know what really happened, and who are willing to tell their stories unfiltered. This is much better than reading about it in a book or learning it from a classroom teacher. There are many amongst us, here and at home, who we can learn from. We just need to ask. From Armin Mehrabani, 2008. I visited all the 7th and 8th grade classes to talk about my life and how it compared to theirs. I started off by telling them my name and where I was from, and then they took over the conversation with their questions. The students had some interesting preconceived images of America that I had to address. One student heard that everyone in America carries a gun and is a millionaire. Well, I guess based on Western media and what the rest of the world sees of America, that would be accurate. From Corinne Didini, 2008. We have much to learn from the Kenyans. Their faith in democracy is genuine, their willingness to fight for their convictions is inspiring, and their attitude about education and family is unlike anything I have witnessed previously. Most notably, we are learning that contentment is about who and not what, and that today should not be sacrificed in the hope of a better tomorrow. As Mama Waweru taught us, the path will not be straight, but it is one we must follow. From Stephen Curdy, 2008. The children that I have met in Kenya appreciate the things in life that really matter. While drinking a steamy cup of chai, I made my own list of things that really matter to me. God, family, Mom, Dad, Chris and Andy, my brothers, friends, education, helping others, being independent, being active. I have been inspired by these children to appreciate these things and people every day to the fullest extent. This trip has unexpectedly helped put my life in perspective. Adam Monson, 2009. The hospitality we have been shown has been touching and has made all of us feel more than welcome in Kenya. While we have experienced many of Kenya's natural wonders, without a doubt it will be the people that I remember most. Annie Odell, 2011. I can honestly say that my experience here in Kenya has strengthened me both physically and emotionally. In the beginning, I was nervous, and I wished that I could go back to my comfortable lifestyle in California. However, I forced myself out of my comfort zone, forged ahead, and benefited greatly. This experience has definitely changed the way I will look at my life now and how I will look at my life in the future. Becca Rogers, 2012. It is truly amazing how much we take our shoes for granted. The children here walk everywhere, and I mean everywhere, and the material covering their feet goes everywhere they go. There are no cars for them to ride or buses to take. Most likely the shoes on their feet are the only pair they have. It was magical seeing their faces light up when we dumped duffel bags of shoes out in front of them. They were so excited, and for something as simple as shoes. It was so wonderful that we all got to experience their joy when we, one by one, knelt down in front of them, asking if their shoes were mzuri, or good. Jenna Angel, 2013. In America, we have fences to keep students in school. In Kenya, they have fences to keep students out of school. In America, students will try to skip class or sneak off campus. Here, there are far fewer spaces available for all the students who want to be in school, so a fence is needed to keep unregistered students out. Quinnell Bethelme, 2013. Mama Waweru had lived through so much and seemed to embody the idea of the human spirit. Her parting words of advice was that life will have its ups and downs, but one must never give up. If one tries, his or her situation will always improve, but only if one tries. She also advised us that once we were old enough that we move out of our parents' homes and to be on our own. It was fine if we visited our parents, but she stressed that when a child is ready, it was time to leave the comfort of home and take on the world's challenges independently. The positive outlook that she had gained from such a difficult life was inspiring and reminded me to keep pushing forward, even through events that seem almost impossible to overcome. Nancy Leslie, 2014. Today we visited Lapella Orphanage and played games of soccer, duck, duck, goose, and jump rope. All the children wanted to play and also wanted our entire group to join in. I honestly think that just being around us was enjoyable to them. It was enjoyable to me. The interaction that we had today is something that I will treasure forever. It gave me a better perspective on how lucky I am and how that even in less than ideal situations, we can all find joy. Allie Ward, 2012. The butcher's shop will forever remain in my memory, not only because we were buying mutton and the shopkeeper laughed at the way we said it, but also because of the smell. It smelled, well, like an authentic butchery. While I'm not at all accustomed to such a scene, this is another example of how life here is more real. The meat one gets is not wrapped in fancy paper and placed on ice. The livestock are not shot up with hormones, and the meat then processed to appeal to the customer's eye. Here, the cow or goat grazing on the side of the road one day may be your dinner the next. This is what the Kenyans are used to, and we are used to something different. Neither good nor bad, just different. From an anonymous source in 2013. What I noticed early in my time here was that the people have very, very little. I commonly saw worn out school uniforms, tattered textbooks, shoeless children, and people living in tiny, tiny houses. What I didn't see was the opulence and silly gadgets that have come to rule our lives in America. Despite this lack of luxury, people here are genuinely happy. The saying, "money can't buy happiness," is alive and well in Kenya. And finally, to close with a quote from Eudora Wealthy. "Through travel, I first became aware of the outside world. It was through travel that I found my own introspective way into becoming a part of it." Kwaheri. Goodbye.